Welcome to the Engineering, Emotions, and Energy Podcast, where you can relax, recharge, and reconnect. And now, your host, Justin Wink.
Thank you so much for tuning in, listening to the show, and possibly telling a friend. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to have more time. But first, I'm going to have a little bit of a book update. So, for those of you that have been listening, watching on social media or checking your email, might be knowing I got a little something going on called publishing a book. It's called Engineered to Love, Going Beyond Success to Fulfillment, Using Practical Tools to Relax, Recharge, and Reconnect. And got some big updates on that. Just a couple days ago, I submitted my manuscript for a very, very important part of the book publishing process. That's the copy edit phase. And if you know what that is, you're like, that's fucking awesome. If you don't, let me tell you, it's basically the book content-wise is done. And thanks to those of you that filled out the survey and also to my editor, all the great ideas and feedback. It was a good book. It's now a fantastic book, and it is on the way to being a phenomenal book. So I'm really, really excited. What's even more important than getting it to this phase where we're just in the editor's just going to be going looking for, grammar, spelling, that kind of stuff. What this means is the launch date is coming up very, very soon. Not the launch itself, but knowing what the date is. So all I can tell you so far is it's likely somewhere between, April and June. But within the next couple of weeks, it's going to get narrowed down. And if you want to be one of the first to know when the book is coming out, you want to be on my VIP list. So how do you do that? You go to justinwink.com/VIP. So be in the show notes, justinwink.com/VIP. And it's going to be a lot of fun. For example, the people on my VIP list, they got an email with the news about the book, but they also got something very, very special, very, very insider about the book that they're the only ones that are going to get it because they're on the VIP list. If you want to get what they got, if you want the little preview, the little extra something about what's going on behind the scenes, and you want to be part of making this an international bestseller, then join the VIP list. So just justinwink.com/VIP. And there's going to be a lot more fun as we get the launch date set and figure out how we're going to do that and all the activities and bonuses and all sorts of stuff, because really want to get this book out to as many people as possible, because it's going to change lives. There's ideas, there's perspectives, there's tools, there's just ways of thinking, ways of living that a lot of people, the right people, are going to get it and go like, holy fuck, I didn't know I could live a different way. And they're going to be happier, healthier, and better humans. So even if it doesn't change your life, this might change somebody you work with, and it's going to make your life easier. Because I definitely have people in my life and in my working life especially where I'm like, these people need to chill out. They need to do something that makes them happy, relax. This person is just stressed out, busy, and they're throwing it all around. And I'm pretty good with my deflector shield. I'm able to kind of go, oh man, I see what's going on. I feel for them, send love, and don't take it on. But I used to not do that. I used to rile me up. And even though I can, it still takes effort. I'd rather just somebody else be a happy, joyful, loving human. That's the easiest to interact with. So the more of those we can get, wouldn't you agree, our lives are all going to be a lot easier. So I appreciate you with that. And you're probably like, Justin, you said you're going to teach me how to save time. You just took a bunch of time talking about your book. When are we going to get to the main topic? We're going to get to it right now. As we get into this, it's going to be one of these things where you're going to hear it and you're going to be like, that's too simple. It is, yet most things in life are incredibly simple, yet they can be very challenging to implement in our day-to-day. And of those things, this is probably one of the simplest, yet could also be considered maybe one of the most challenging. There's also the most help available. That's one of the things the show is all about, a lot of the things that I offer. It's one of the main reasons I wrote the book. The book has a lot of things that are going to help you have more time in your life. And there's countless of other things if you're, sick of me or don't want me. As we get into this, I want to ask you, have you ever watched those Lumberjack shows? Like where they go and they do log rolling and they do the saw and cutting stuff down and chopping wood and all that, because that used to be one of my favorite shows. I used to love that, watching them just chopping wood and doing those sorts of things and seeing how quickly they could cut the tree down or how many trees. My question to you is, if you were to be a lumberjack, what type of a lumberjack would you want to be? Would you want to be the type of lumberjack that just cuts down a few trees? Or do you want to be the kind of lumberjack who cuts down the most trees in the least amount of time? Now, let's just assume that this is a sustainably maintained forest where, we're not chopping down the Amazon and clear cutting and all that. But, it's all done healthily. And, you had to, at least for a week, we're saying a week. If you had to be a lumberjack for a week in a very sustainable forest, what would you want to be? And I'm guessing you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Justin, of course, I want to be cutting down the most trees in the least amount of time with the least amount of effort. And that's my answer too. And this reminds me of a story that I once heard about a young lumberjack. And he wanted this exact same thing too. He wanted to cut down the most trees in the least amount of time. And so his first day on the job, he goes, grabs his trusty axe. This is before the time of the chainsaw. So this is the manual axe. He grabs his axe and he just gets a chopping. He's chopping away. And boom, there's a tree. There's another one. And by the end of the day, he's chopped down 50 trees, more than any other lumberjack, even the most seasoned lumberjack. And he's like, fuck yes, I am a tree chopping machine. So he goes to bed feeling great. And he's like, I'm going to do even more tomorrow. So he wakes up even a little earlier and he gets out there and he starts chopping away, just chop. It's a little challenging, but he's still excited because he's running off that high of yesterday of doing so well. Yeah, fuck yeah, I got so many trees yesterday and day's over. How many trees? 37. Holy shit. You know what? I'm sure it was the trees. The weather was a little off. So, I think the type of tree was a little harder. So it must have been something with the trees. That's what it is. Tomorrow, I'm going to cut down even more than the first day. That was a fluke. Let's not worry about it. So this third day, our young lumberjack friend, he wakes up, gets to tree chopping. He's chopping away. There's a tree. Boy, that one's tough. And he's going, he even skips lunch. He's like, nothing's going to stop him today. He skips lunch, keeps going. He even goes a little bit past sunset until he can literally not see the tree just about from his axe. And he gets even less trees today, 25. How could that be? He's at dinner. He's demoralized. He's depressed. And one of the old-timer lumberjacks sees him and goes, what's going on? And he tells the story, and the old-time lumberjack, he just smiles and poses the question, when's the last time you sharpened your axe? And the young lumberjack goes, I haven't sharpened the axe since I got started. I've been too busy chopping trees. My question to you is, when's the last time you sharpened your axe? Now, you probably aren't really a lumberjack, or even competing in the lumberjack games or whatever the hell they call that on ESPN 8, the Ocho. Yet, you do use something every day that, when it is sharp, can make your life so much easier, can allow you to have the clarity to discern what you should do and what you should not do. And that is your mind. And if you haven't given any time to sharpen your mind, you're basically going around with a dull mind. Not to say that you're like dull or dim-witted, but there's a fuzziness. There's a lack of clarity, a lack of certainty, a lack of priority, a lack of knowing what is important and what is not. And so if you're not sharpening your mind, that's where all your time is going. Because you might be doing things that don't need to be done, or doing them in a way that is not as skillful, or might even be causing more trouble or wasting more time effectively. Similar to trying to cut down trees with a dull axe. It's just a lot of work without a lot of result. So you might be asking, okay, Justin, how do I sharpen my mind? That's a really good question. It's even easier than in sharpening an axe, because to sharpen an axe, you need to get Is it like a flint or a sharpening stone? You need some external tool. Again, I'm not a lumberjack. I've just seen them on TV in the Bounty commercials. The mind, though, it's self-sharpening. It sharpens itself. The only problem is it needs a little bit of time to do this. Yet the more time you give it, you get exponential in return. When you're continuously using your mind, when it's thinking and then those thoughts are needed to be acted upon, that's effectively dulling the edge of your mind. Yet when you take some time to allow the mind to just kind of work with itself, where those thoughts, they might come up, any of those reactions, they might come up, yet if you don't respond, you just allow the time, you allow the space. It allows the mind to just sharpen itself. It allows you to get in touch with that part of you that knows what to do and what not. What it is that lights you up and what is holding you back or making you less than joyful. It's allowing you to work through maybe the things that need to be worked through so that then you can find that energy that you actually need to go about your day without doing a bunch of caffeine or maybe other supplements or drugs or who knows what. So it really is just that simple. It's also incredibly challenging because I'm guessing maybe it's not a habit yet, or it's not something maybe you even feel comfortable doing, or maybe you have this misconception that it's something that you would be bad at it. That's why I like to offer so many different ways for you to find ways to sharpen your mind, to relax. It really is the answer to having more time in your life, because when you know what it is you want to do with your life, it becomes very clear how you want to spend your time and how you don't want to spend your time. Because probably half the stuff you do isn't adding any value to your life or, quite frankly, to anybody else's life either. But if you're so stressed out and you're so overwhelmed that you don't even know what's important and what's not, you're going to try to do it all. And when you try to do it all, you effectively get nothing. If everything's urgent, nothing is urgent. If everything's important, nothing's important. So when you get really clear, and that clearness comes from the sharpness of a mind that has had the chance to get clear what thoughts matter and what's not, and that can only be done in the space where those thoughts don't actually have to do anything. And so that's why having a practice where you just allow some time for that. And you don't have to do it all on your own. There's many practices for that. There's the I love myself practice that you can look in the history of this. There's even just set 3 to 5 minutes of silence. Or every month I do the Relax, Recharge, Reconnect. That's free every month on YouTube. And YouTube and Facebook, Justin Wink, Ph.D. So that is a 20-minute guided experience, free, no charge, where you have a chance to relax, recharge, reconnect. That is the sharpening of your mind. It's going to give you the clarity to get out of your life what needs to get out and bring in what needs to be brought in. And it'll be like, that's how you have more time. Because we all get the same 24 hours each and every day. It's one of the few things where we're exactly equal. The only difference is, what are you going to do with it? And if you're just doing whatever comes on your plate without deciding, does that even belong on your plate? No wonder it's going to feel like you're always behind, that you don't have enough time, that you're not good enough. Whereas if you take some time to clear the mind, and again, it's never going to be completely clear. That the mind just thinks. The mind just comes up with thoughts and ideas, and not all of them need to be acted upon. Not all of them need to be taken seriously. The mind, in some ways, is a bit like a child. Sometimes it's going to go like, let's have donuts for dinner, and let's like go play in the mud and then get in the car. Maybe sometimes it's a great idea, but probably not every day. It's going to be causing a lot of work if you do that every day, and going to have some consequences that are not going to be good for the long term. And so when you give some space, there's the conscious part of your mind can go like, we don't want to do those ideas. No, thank you. We're going to go over here and do these things that make us happy. And it's also, the cool part is it's going to know more and more what actually makes you happy, what lights you up, what feels good. So again, really simple, yet I'm not saying it's easy to implement. And it's even easier to implement if you do it with other people. Because I didn't start doing this on my own. And so I wouldn't expect you to either. I can now do it on my own, because I've been at it for a while, and I can teach it because I've been there now. And so I'm happy to teach you and offer these things. And I got a lot of resources. The book's going to have a ton of resources about that. It's a big thing of how to relax, how to sharpen your mind, how to figure out what you want, how to figure out what you already have going on, how to get things out of the way that when you decide like, wait, this person or this thing doesn't work to me, how do you work with that? It's all in the book. And a lot of the stuff I've covered in previous podcasts, and I'll cover it again. So do encourage you to continue listening. If you have any questions on this, find me on social media, find me through email, podcast@justinwink.com. After this, there'll be all the info on how to get a hold of me. And remember, if you want to get on that VIP list so that you know when the book is going to be coming out, how you can be a part of that, how you can get it at the lowest price and get like the fun bonuses, because I'm going to be having like guided audios as part of this book, worksheets. I don't exactly know, but I'm guessing that some of these guided audios I'm probably going to give out to people on my VIP list before the book's even out, because why not let you all relax and sharpen your mind and have a better life sooner than later? I don't know. Call me crazy. Call me weird. So, just some stuff you're not going to want to miss. So justinwink.com/VIP, because you are a very important person for my book when you're on that list. And you're an important person to me just as a listener already, but that's specifically for the book. For this podcast, if you could always, rate it 5 stars, give a nice review, however you're listening, it'd be great. Also, tell a friend. Might be a good way if got that friend or the coworker that's all putting their busyness up in your business. You just send this their way, and maybe they get the hint without you having to talk to them. I don't know. Just saying. But be kind about it. Don't like shove it down their throat. If someone's got bad breath, you don't just pour mouthwash down their throat. You just maybe leave a bottle of mouthwash at their desk or something, and then they go, what is this? Yeah. So, go with consent, go kindly, go gently. And with that, I'm going to wrap this up. Appreciate it, and good day. If you want to contact the show, email me at podcast@justinwink.com. That's Justin, WENCK. And find me on social media, Justin Wink, Ph.D. on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. And if you want ways so that you can relax, recharge, and reconnect, find the Tuesday 20 every Tuesday at 12:05 p.m. Pacific. It's only 20 minutes, and it's going to get you relaxed, recharged, and reconnected. It's on YouTube, and it's on Facebook. So looking forward to seeing you there.